Let's see if I can make this a little bit quicker for y'all. Okay, so there are two theaters. The war is going to be fought in two different parts, okay, on the Western Front and on the Eastern Front. Obviously, you can read. Here we go. All right, so the French have this great plan that they're going to like attack everyone called Plan. What does that look like to y'all? Plan 17. Okay. Well, Germany has a great plan to avoid the war on two fronts. You know, Russia's on one side and then Britain and France are on the other. It's called the Schlieffen Plan. Well, the Schlieffen Plan all depends on Russia being slow to mobilize because crazy stuff in Russia is happening. Remember, all this stuff with the Tsar, excuse me, all this stuff with the Tsar is, throwing down and the Bolsheviks are showing up. But unfortunately, the Schlieffen Plan is going to fail because Russia doesn't want to be attacked and they got with it. And, all that cold weather in Russia leads to Germany having to fight on two fronts. Sucks for you, Schleifen Plan. Oops, here we go. All right, so you got a multi-front war. Germany's thinking they can do the best, what's it like for you living life multitasking, trying to do everything well at once? Well, that's what it is for Germany. They're trying to do the most, and that is going to cause a downfall in their plan. All right, so granted, you still got on the Western Front, you still have trench warfare happening. Everybody's losing stuff. Stuff is not going well. So they're recruiting and recruiting and recruiting. And then they start recruiting young people. They start recruiting old people. They start recruiting everybody, okay? Look at those French guys. They look so happy as horrible battles are headed their way. You got the Austrians, you got the Germans. Oh, so sad to say goodbye to your mother. And not to say that this little boy is going into the war, but they did get pretty young as they're going into the conscription. All right, look at these numbers. Look at how many more Russia is going to be able to mobilize, and Germany just can't believe it. Pretty quick fighting, and Germany is having to split their 11 million between the three others. Okay. Just take a look at some propaganda posters. If you ever see a helmet with a spike on the top, that is a German reference. So, ooh, what if this guy takes over the world? Oh my goodness. Oh, we have to destroy him or he will destroy Our Lady Liberty and derobe her. Okay. So propaganda is pretty effective. Beat back those crazy Germans. A Liberty Bond. Anybody know what a Liberty Bond is? You might want to write this down. This is important. Okay. So the goal of a Liberty Bond is for regular people, regular Joes like me and you. Pretty much, you buy a Liberty Bond. Okay. Let's say I give $100. I buy a Liberty Bond, $100 bond. Cool. All right, well, the government is going to take that Liberty Bond, okay? Sometimes they're called a war bond, and it's pretty much like you're giving a loan to the government, and they can take that. They can buy uniforms or food or tanks or planes, whatever they want to do with that money, okay? But your bond is valuable, okay, because it's gaining interest. And so in 10 years, when you can sell back your bond or however many years you want to wait to sell it back, and you've been gaining that much interest, the government owes you that back. So you can make money off of that. Pretty cool stuff. But the government gets a free loan for a little bit. Okay, cool. Oh, don't touch our children. Pretty intense little chubby baby right there, gonna be threatened by the Germans. Yay, propaganda. All right, a couple battles I'm just gonna fly through. I just really want you to look at the numbers, and I wish we had time for some military history, but the deal is that these 4 battles, just the amount of people that are dead is insane, okay? So this first one, the Battle of the Marne, the Germans are going to attack. Remember, you got trenches everywhere, and the French do save Paris, which is the big deal. You save the capital, you save the country, okay? But we look a little bit later, and you got the longest battle of the war. So the Battle of Verdun is awful. Like, the Germans are sneaking up, but you got Britain and France on the other side, and at the end, you have 1 million people dead, and nobody has really advanced. The Battle of the Somme, look at this, another 1 million dead in one battle, and nobody has gained a thing. Yay, trench warfare, this very slow war of attrition. The Second Battle of the Marne, this is what's important. So the Germans are coming in hard and heavy on Paris. And so what what is going to be the game changer? We're looking at July of 1918, and the US has entered the war as of 1917. So you got all these fresh American doughboys, that's what they're called, okay? They are coming with like this fresh perspective. They're rested. They haven't been beat down in the trenches, and so they're going to be able to push back those crazy Germans. Oh, just to show you a couple of pictures. Sorry, lost some sound effects there. God, what happened to his face? Um, Pretty intense little war. Remember this total war. Some cool stuff does happen in the war, like with some prosthetics. You start to see so many people without certain limbs that there are huge advances in prosthetics, huge advances in wheelchairs, and that sort of technology. So that's really neat. The Eastern Front, so this is with Russia. They're not really going to use trench warfare, but things really just aren't better, okay? You got just some awful things. I mean, look at this, the Russian disaster at the beginning of the war. Look how many Russian prisoners of war there are. Ooh, it's not good. People in Russia are not feeling great. Plus, what are they running out of? That's right, they're running out of food. Okay, so nothing goes well. So Russia is sinking. Remember the Duma. If you remember, none of that is put into place. Tsar Nicholas II is full of lies, and morale is super low, and everybody just really wants to leave. And actually, the Russians do end up leaving. They signed their own treaty in 1917. After the Bolshevik Revolution, they just kind of leave. Well, the deal is that the U.S. is determined to remain neutral. We have that this proclamation of neutrality. I mean, Woodrow Wilson wins his second election as president with the slogan, "He kept us out of war." Just about 3 months later, and the U.S. will enter the war after he wins that election. But anyway, pretty crazy. So here's how the U.S. gets into the war. All right. So the deal is that we, the U.S., we love to make money. Okay. We want to help our allies. We don't want to seem like we're on the side of the British. But so we're kind of selling weapons to both sides. Well, we start to give some more weapons to the Allied side, and we're sneaking that over. And we sneak some weapons over on a British cruise ship called the Lusitania. Okay. And unfortunately for us,